The top 10 first issues releasing this week on Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. Hey everyone, it's vmcampos comic book fan, kitty cat fan. Here we've got the kitty, ready to celebrate the latest episode of the weekly vmcampos comic book club. I'm celebrating my 6th year of the podcast, and here we have the kitty cat coming to hang out to help us count down the list. Actually, he wants food, so let me go get him some food, and let's talk about comics. And we're back. So the cat is well fed, and let's talk about comics. So this is the anniversary episode. I've been doing this podcast for 6 years now. It's been a long, strange trip talking about comics. This is the series where I count down the top 10 comics releasing this week, the first issues. To celebrate, I've got a giveaway. Watch the video, and at a certain point, no purchase necessary, you can enter the giveaway. To thank you for coming to hang out with me every single week to talk about comics. Let's count down the top first issues this week. At number 10, I picked Captain America Anniversary Tribute number 1 from Marvel Comics. This is pretty cool. This takes the original Captain America story from way back in the day and modernizes it with a variety of current artists. So celebrating 80 years of battling tyranny this month. We've got the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Joe Simon original concepts, as well as the Avengers 4, his return back to the modern age, or the Silver Age of comics, drawn by a variety of creators. Now there's also this amazing Mark Brooks cover that really pays homage to the original punching Hitler in the face cover here, but with a little bit more of a modern style. I love it. A bit Alex Ross-esque, but Mark Brooks's style is also very, very good. So here's number 10 for the week. At number 9, I selected The Bequest, number 1 from Aftershock Comics. This is written by Tim Seeley and art by Freddie Williams II. It's a fun mixture of medieval fantasy storytelling with modern times. Check out the blurb here. Welcome to the high fantasy world of Tangia, a land where wizards and warriors battle dragons in dark dungeons. Welcome to Chicago, Illinois, where the magical items from Tangia are being traded on the black market and messing everything up. So I like this mashup of concepts. I also like the art. It's got a lot of great detail to it, as we can see here. This is by Freddie Williams II, mixing together very detailed fantasy aspects, as well as in a modern setting with a lot of cool action and so forth. So it's number 9 on this week's list. Number 8, read it again, or read it for the first time if you never did, in preparation for the new Amazon Prime animated series, Invincible number 1 from Image Comics, written by Robert Kirkman of The Walking Dead, of course. Various artists. We've got Cory Walker, Bill Crabtree, and then, of course, Ryan Ottley, Nathan Fairbrain. It's a reprint of the first issue, but with supplemental content for the low price of $3.99. Great collectible, brand new cover here to enjoy from Otley right before the series begins. Are you hyped for it as well? Are you borrowing your friend's Amazon Prime account? I won't tell. Anyway, Invincible number 1, Amazon Prime reprint is number 8. At number 7, we've got Boom Studios' Jim Henson's The Storyteller, Tale 1 of 4. We've got writer Jonathan Rivera, art by Jade Zhang. Peach Momoko variant cover, which actually I think is very disturbing. A lot of people are creeped out by spiders. A lot of people love Peach Momoko's style, but the spider plus Peach Momoko style is still a little bit freaky. This is the next Jim Henson-inspired epic limited series, with a different acclaimed creative team on each issue. The plot is that this is the story of Anansi, the spider god, in his quest to free all stories from his father, the sky god Nyame. New entry into the Jim Henson-inspired mythology, with a brand new issue number 1. Number 6 brings us to Dark Horse Comics' ORPHAN and the Five Beasts, 1 of 4. James Stokoe is the writer, and the artist is also James Stokoe. That's a nice gig. A brand new kung fu epic from James Stokoe, the creator behind Orc Stain and Aliens Dead Orbit. Sci-Fi states that the artwork is astonishingly detailed with an infectious, monstrous energy, and you can see here just by the preview of the cover, if we get a zoom in close up right here. That's a lot of detail in that cover. Zooming in even further, we just see a lot of detail, a lot of action. Just look at these characters over here with so much line work and interesting colors. Spurred by her master's dying words, the adopted warrior Orphan Mo seeks to find and kill 5 former disciples who now threaten the land with corruption from their demonic powers. Sign me up, issue 1 of 4. Yo Joe! Over at IDW Publishing, we've got G.I. Joe Castle Fall. This is a one-shot, so I'm counting it as an issue number 1, publishing this week, written by Paul Allor and artist by Chris Evenhui. The past year of G.I. Joe leads to this. The Joes aim to topple Cobra by turning its own assets against them, but Cobra strikes first at Joe leadership from the inside. I love this cover by the main artist, Chris Evenhui. Just this big heavy gun, these beautiful purple and pink tones. There's also a variant cover by Freddie Williams, $7.99 for this one-shot, published over at IDW in the culmination of this G.I. Joe story. Image takes number 4 with ULTRAMEGA. This is written by James Harren, art by James Harren and Dave Stewart. I'll let this speak for itself. A cosmic plague has spread, transforming everyday people into violent, monstrous kaiju. So what's not to love there? It's a sort of mutation, Godzilla kaiju sort of thing. Here's the main cover. I really like it. I like that it's this very sort of stark design. It gives me some vibes of Akira and such. Interior art is also very good, as we can see here, this sort of modern style of art, and I just love this particular shot of just the action going off. Doom! And that takes us to number 4. At number 3, we've got a DC Comics comic book, Superman Red and Blue number 1. This is by various artists and various creators, so it's an anthology series about Superman. Creators include John Ridley, Steve Lieber, Marguerite Bennett, and Jill Thompson. So a variety of creators bringing a variety of stories about everyone's favorite Kryptonian. We've got the Gary Frank cover, just some great reds and blue tones here to enjoy. I love the angle of Superman flying through Metropolis. We've got a Yoshitaka Amano cover. Yoshitaka Amano, the one of the important artists of the Final Fantasy series, who gave that series its art style, also worked on Vampire Hunter D and such. This is yet another Yoshitaka Amano cover that he's doing with DC Comics. So I wonder when Marvel will pay even higher to get some of his talents over. I guess DC thought, okay, they've got Peach Momoko, we'll get Yoshitaka Amano. Next up, I guess Rembrandt. We're in the top 2, and here I've picked from Ablaze, Maria Lovett's Eros Psyche. Written by Maria Lovett, interior art by Maria Lovett. This is the Mirka Andolfo variant cover. From the artist of the best-selling Faithless series comes Eros Psyche. La Rosa's female boarding school is a paradise for young girls, but only if you follow the rules. This is a surreal, bewitching tale of love, magic, and tragedy. Here's the Maria Lovett cover. This is what you'll see as the interior art, a good preview. And then we've got also this Mercado variant, Miguel Mercado, a much more realistic but still emotional style. There's a bit of a blood oath going on here, perhaps. And then we've got the movie poster variant, the Harry Potter movie poster variant by Sabine Rich. Pick the favorite one you like. Alright, let's pause for the cause. Here's the giveaway. If you would like your own copy of this Vampirella number 17 variant edition, this is the final order cutoff date variant cover by Megan Hetrick, you can actually win it by going to my website, vmcampos.com. Scroll down and you'll see the contact form. Send me an email that you saw this video, that you want this Vampirella cover. What's your favorite thing about Vampirella? Tell me that in the email. And then the third person that emails me will win this Vampirella book. I'll mail it off to you in appreciation for subscribing to the podcast, watching on YouTube, etc., to celebrate 6 years of the podcast. No purchase necessary. Just go to my website, send me an email that you saw the podcast episode, tell me why you like Vampirella, and you could be the one that wins this final order cutoff date variant cover. And the number one pick for the top comic of March 17th, 2021 is Antarctic Press's Horror Comics Black and White by various writers, various artists. I picked this because I love anthology series and I love horror series. And that's exactly what this is. What's black and white and dread all over? A 3-issue miniseries presenting horror art in its rawest form, stark black and white. As if 2020 weren't frightful enough, we've got 32 pages full of terror for you every month this winter. Starting in March. Okay, winter in different part of the hemisphere, I suppose. Anyway, look at this amazing cover. Try not to see Ghost Rider here, but it's this like demonic skull in stark black and white. And if you've ever read the classic Warren comics, or even some of the more modern ones in stark black and white, I think that's a much better way to do horror than just bright splashes of red blood. Black and white is where it's at. Think about the classic Night of the Living Dead and you're right in the zone. And that was the top 10 list for this week, Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. Next week, I begin my 6th year of the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. Consider going over to the Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos, to join the VMC crew for as little as $1 to get access to exclusive stuff, such as more giveaways, other tier rewards starting at $2, and so forth. If you like what I do, consider pledging that $1. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply follow for free on Patreon to be alerted to everything that I do. And you must be subscribed, of course, here on YouTube, where I do these weekly top 10 lists. I do a bunch of comic book shorts and then long-form videos and all of that. Magic the Gathering stuff, too, here on YouTube.com. This has been the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club, and I'll see you next week.